Landscaper accused of throwing party at client's home says he was allowed to be there. Folks, we're not talking about some middle-class home, neither. This was a $4.5 million mansion that Buddy threw a pretty extravagant graduation party for his son at, while those homeowners / customers of his were out of town on vacation. And this wasn't some little party, neither. It's been reported that there were hundreds of young people at this party. A party in which Michael Brown charged an admission fee to get in, saying that he did so just in case anything got broken. He'd have the money to be able to cover the cost of repairs.
Yes, we charged at the door just because we wanted to ensure that if anything was broken, we could replace it. You know, so it is liability when you're running a business.
Investigators also charged Brown with obtaining property by false pretenses. Did you charge people to get in?
We did not charge, but we did charge because of security reasons.
I don't know what this guy's deal is. Clearly, he is absolutely delusional, deranged, or possibly suffering from some sort of an entitlement issue. In what world would this be okay? These are clients of this guy, or they were.
I don't consider them as a customer or a client. I just don't.
What do you consider them?
Family.
Oh.
Mother and father.
Potentially a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Getting the chance to service a $4.5 million home and do the yard maintenance at that property, that's going to be a pretty lucrative contract that you have absolutely squandered at this point. And you take a look at video footage like this where dude was actually, vlogging this party that he threw here? Maybe in his mind he thought that it was okay. Maybe it wasn't that big of a deal. Hey, we didn't go inside the house, we just stayed on the grass. But there's videos showing people all around the backyard, the pool area. Somebody could have gotten hurt and it would have been the homeowner's liability. Not this guy's. Granted, the homeowner would have sued this guy and put criminal charges on him. I just don't know how this even comes to be in the first place. Did they not have cameras all around this home, blink alerts going off on their phone while they're in Jamaica or wherever they are? Holy shit, ain't that the guy with the weed eater who's supposed to be cutting the grass? Look at this. Hey, buddy having a rave party in our backyard. And again, you look at this video of this guy at this party that he's throwing and charging an admission fee for, and he's looking like he's feeling like the man. Buddy, you're 30-something years old around a bunch of minors. This shit is hella sus. But maybe he's just a cool dad. He was also asked about these clients and said that he doesn't even refer to them as that, and that he refers to them as family.
I don't consider them as a customer or a client. I just don't.
What do you consider them?
Family.
Oh.
Mother and father.
But if in fact they were family, the reporter would go one step further, asking this guy to call them. Hey, FaceTime them right now. Prove to us that this was okay for you to be able to do this.
Can you call them?
Why would I?
But he refused.
Yeah, and he definitely said that he wasn't about to do that. Why not? Why not call them? Imagine living in this neighborhood. Hundreds of people showing up to this house where you know your neighbors are on vacation, peeking through the blinds, looking out. I mean, you're gonna want to know what's going on. It's probably loud. It's probably off the chain out here. And I just wonder what type of premeditated notions went into this. Buddy was probably over there cutting the grass one day. Miss Barbara and Robert probably said, hey, we'll be going out of town next week. Would you mind keeping an eye on things? Oh boy, if they said anything like that, he definitely took that to mean something totally different, or took that to be the green light. Police would eventually be called to this residence, and when they arrived at the party, Michael Brown would greet them and lie multiple times when being questioned about this residence. At first telling the cops that it was his house.
He represented the home as his own. He said he was a resident of the home. A second attempt to tell him the truth, he told us that the home belonged to his grandparents. And several attempts later he did finally decide to tell the truth that he was just the lawn guy.
From there, police would disperse the party, saying that while doing so, multiple cars began causing a ruckus in the neighborhood, probably doing burnouts and 360s, and police would say that multiple vehicles would end up getting pulled over leaving from this event, being issued citations and traffic offenses for just the way that they were leaving from the party. Michael Brown would actually end up being taken into custody, arrested, and charged with multiple crimes, including breaking and entering, second-degree trespassing, contributing to the delinquency of a minor, injury to real property, and obtaining property under false pretenses. But in an interview with this guy, he doesn't really seem to take any of this seriously. In fact, doubling down on the idea that he did nothing wrong, claiming that there's nothing wrong with breaking rules. You just can't break the law. So I might have broke rules, but I didn't break the law.
So I might have broke rules, but I didn't break the law.
No, I'm going to have to disagree with that and say that you absolutely did so. And aside from any jail time that this guy might be facing, I think that it's really going to hit home for this guy when this situation affects his business, which it may have already. If this guy has any type of a business license for this landscape company, that could potentially be revoked. I'm sure clients of his are seeing this story in that local area, and this has got to be cause for concern as to what this guy could potentially do if ever you decide to go out of town. You know, they don't share anything in relation to who owns this $4.5 million home where hundreds of people were at illegally. You know, once this party was dispersed and shut down, I can't even imagine the mess that was left behind. Who cleans that up? The homeowners? I hate to think that this is like some elderly couple that this guy just completely took advantage of. You give an inch, some people will take a mile. And this is a perfect example of that. But you know what this also is? This also is a welcome opportunity for any other legitimate landscape company to show up and do the right thing. I got to imagine there's been a few business cards left at this property from other landscape companies. Maybe somebody's even taken it upon themselves to go clean this place up for free. Buddy absolutely lost his contract. And the crazy thing is he doesn't think that he has. The story reports that Brown still believes he has a good relationship with the homeowners and looks forward to continuing to build with them.
He also remains confident that he hasn't lost a client.
I'm just waiting for them to come home just so I could continue to build my relationship and we can move forward.
Looks forward to continuing to build with them. That statement in itself makes it seem like this guy wasn't working for these homeowners or this property for all that long. The homeowners would end up being asked if this guy was still allowed to be at this residence or to come back, in which the homeowners said they don't ever want this guy back on their property. But with the level of disregard that this guy has shown throughout this situation, I mean, look at this particular video right here. This was actually shared during the interview that was done with this guy. Just felt like breaking out in a little bit of dance, it looks like. But what it really looks like is just his absolute complete disregard and continued disrespect for this situation. I mean, that's what it looks like to me personally. Or maybe he's just the type of guy that loves to have fun and he doesn't take life too seriously. The final straw to break this camel's back in relation to this story is when asked if he would do this again. Buddy showed absolutely zero remorse for this situation and said, damn right, he's got 3 other kids. I will do it all over again because I have 3 more kids who are going to graduate.
Well, I will do it all over again because I have 3 more kids that's going to graduate.
You can have the same party at the same house?
Yes.
Also, real quick to mention, one of the charges he got was contributing to the delinquency of a minor, which is providing alcohol to underage people. He disputed that claim, saying that no alcohol was ever provided. However, deputies say they found multiple empty bottles of alcohol.
I didn't sell any alcohol. I wasn't down.
Because they're saying there was underage drinking.
Nope. No underage drinking. Nope. I bought my drinks.
Buddy, you're toast. Deputies say they seized more than $3,000 in cash that Brown collected at the party. That's a mean little side hustle he carried out right there. The sheriff's office say they have been in contact with the homeowners and they gave a recorded statement clarifying that he was not given permission to host the party. And the sheriff's office say the homeowners asked that Brown not return to the property. So when he does show back up over there, because this seems to be the type of a guy who would do something like that, I'm quite certain there'll be an additional charge of trespassing coming as well. What not to do with a landscape business? I think that this story absolutely defines just that. And I wanted to share this story with you. I hope that you found some interest in this. If you did so, please leave a like and a comment letting me know exactly what you think. And if you find yourself new here on After Prison Show, enjoying this content but not yet subscribed, please consider doing so and turning on bell notifications so that you never miss an upload from us. It would greatly be appreciated and go a long ways to helping to support this channel. As always, until next time, enjoy life, the free world, never take a moment for granted, and make the most of every day. Peace!